Ladies and gentlemen, the time is now. Nigeria versus Algeria and our Super Eagles 2025 AFCON tournament quarterfinal game against Algeria isn't just a knockout game. This is a clash being loaded with history, tactical intrigue, and redemption narrative. You'll be checking out some things to know about the Desert Forces and the Super Eagles. Same as some interesting and exciting updates from the camps of our very own Super Eagles and the Desert Forces regarding our plausible 11. Which players will be starting this evening for the Super Eagles? I have my predicted one. You'll be checking it out in the video. Before I proceed with the details of the stories coming up, quickly let's do it together. Subscribe to the channel, hit on the post notification bell for more updates. Let's show love to our very own Super Eagles and the 2025 AFCON tournament by liking this video and sharing to other social media platforms. As usual, my name still remains Solomon Kwejo Asante, your only nomenclature with the engineer's philosophy in sports, the only Ghanaian who has declared his full support for Nigeria sports, with the Nigeria name, the only one, Solomon Chukwu Emeka. Please do also leave your decent comments in the comment box for special shout out. At least you can drop your prediction of this evening game between Nigeria and Algeria decently in the comment box. Subsequently, I will be giving you special shout outs. More straightforward. Let's get into the video and start from the third quarterfinal game of the 2025 AFCON tournament. It's going to be between our very own Super Eagles of Nigeria versus the Desert Forces of Algeria. 4 p.m. Ghana time, 5 p.m. Nigeria time at the Stade de Marrakech in Marrakech, Morocco. This is how you can enjoy the game. If you are using Android or iPhone, just go to Play Store and App Store respectively and download Meka Football. Meka, as in M-I-K-A, being added with football. You can enjoy every bit of movement and action between Algeria and Nigeria, same as other matches of the 2025 AFCON tournament. You can also enjoy it on your television on DSTV. These are the extensive details of how to enjoy the Super Eagles versus the Desert Forces this evening. Now let's talk about the things to know about Nigeria and Algeria. Briefly, let me limit it to AFCON tournaments. But Nigeria AFCON tournaments records against Algeria to me isn't surprising. Over the past 55 years, Nigeria, the Super Eagles, have faced Algeria, the Desert Forces, 22 times. Let me limit it to AFCON tournament history. We faced 9 times. In the 9 meetings, we've won 3 times. They've won 4 times. 2 ended up in a draw. And this event is going to be the 10th time. And to me, after the game today, is going to be Nigeria 4, Algeria 4, and draw 2. This is it. They have to fall, God willing, this evening. So these are the extensive details coming in from the statistics and the records between Nigeria and Algeria. The most interesting aspect is that both countries won their first ever AFCON trophy against each other on their home grounds. That is it. In 1980, this is the very first time Nigeria, the Super Eagles, we won our first AFCON trophy. We defeated them in Lagos by 3-0. Goals scored by Segun Odegbami. He scored brace, being cemented with a victory by Mudashiru Lawal. He also scored a 3rd goal for Nigeria, defeating them by 3-0. 10 years later, talking of 1990, they defeated us in Algiers. That was the grand finale stage of the 1990 AFCON. At the end of the journey, Algeria won, Super Eagles of Nigeria 0. So looking at this statistics and history between Nigeria and that of Algeria, it's very interesting to know about the game. Let me talk about the infamous 1984. I call this one scandalous because during that AFCON tournament, it was a group stage match. It was a very controversial one indeed in Bouake, Ivory Coast. The defending champions was Ghana. We won it in 1982. And in 1984, they needed goalless draw, that is between Algeria and Nigeria, to eliminate Ghana. And surprisingly, throughout the 90 minutes of the game, it was blatant choreography, or it was blatantly choreographed. They ended up goalless draw. When the players get a chance, they decide not to score, they decide not to shoot. So at the end of this, I call it a controversial one and a scandalous one. compared to other matches in the AFCON tournament history. That is 1984. You can have a full glare of it and know how it was between Nigeria and Algeria. They tried as much as they can to eliminate Ghana. Away from that, let me talk about the legendary who helped Nigeria clinch its first AFCON tournament in Lagos in front of the president, Sehu Shagari. His name is Olusegun Odegwami. He has also spoken at length. He's having history with Algeria when it comes to the AFCON successes and history. And according to Segun Odegwami, we have to go in the game with confidence and belief because with luck, mistake, and others, your opponent can trample over you. But the Super Eagles this evening, you have to play with confidence. You have to play without fear. And you have to go in the game playing like champions. Let's enjoy these motivational words coming in from our own legendary who scored brace to help Nigeria clinch its first AFCON tournament or AFCON trophy against that of Algeria in the name of Olusegun Odegbami.
It is about confidence. It is about belief that you can do it. You know, the difference between footballing countries is not much. From match to match, when you look at them, you see, they struggle. What makes you win is so small. From match to match, it could just be one moment of magic. It could just be one moment you are lucky. It could just be somebody's mistake, and occasionally it is because you play well, you are coherent, and so on and so forth. So there are so many factors that come into winning. But the most important one is that confidence and self-belief. With the quality that we have, with our history, and the numbers that we have, no country in Africa should be struggling with us, from competition to competition. And you see, last year it was Victor Osimhen. Now it is Ademola Lookman. We have the stuff. We've had them all the time. I look at those that never became Africa's Player of the Year. So many. Mikel Obi and all that generation of players. Even JJ never became. Just to tell you the depth of talent that we have. So as we prepare, my advice to the Super Eagles is that they should play confidently. They should play without fear. They should play like champions. When you play like that, you more often than not win. And you win deservedly because it is not by luck, it is not by chance, it is because you are good. You are good, and then you can go out there and play and perform and entertain and, just go out there and dominate and win. We have the players to do it.
Now let's check out the latest camp news from Nigeria and Algeria. According to the latest updates, CAF has now appointed new officials for Nigeria and Algeria. Initially, Omar Atan from Somalia was supposed to be the middleman, but within a remarkable twist, he has been replaced by Senegalese referee Issa Sai, following a complaint lodged to CAF that he's using football boots from non-approved brand, violating CAF's sponsorship deal with Puma because he was supposed to put on Puma boots, and this was orchestrated by the NFF. Whatever is about violation of the rules and the laws of the game, as soon as it is, they will just report you to CAF or FIFA for you to know that you have to go by the rules and the regulations of the game. So that is it coming in from the game. Now let me talk about Lucas Zidane. He is going to be the goalkeeper in the post for Algeria against the Super Eagles. Do you know that he has kept clean sheets in the past 3 matches for Algeria in this 2025 AFCON tournament? They've played 4 matches, but he didn't keep against Equatorial Guinea. That was when they conceded a goal. By that time, he was stressing for the round of 16 game. And so far in this tournament, he hasn't conceded any goal, which is going to be a threat to the Super Eagles in the goalkeeping department for Algeria. And I know we have the men, Ademola Lookman, Ako Adams, Victor Osimhen, and other guys going to put the ball behind his net for you to know that he's back in Africa with one of the giants in African football, talking of Nigeria. So these are some of the extensive details coming out from the game between Nigeria and Algeria. Now let's talk about the injuries updates. Algeria is coming in the game against the Super Eagles without two of their center backs, same as one of their defensive midfielder. And Nigeria, we are also having a doubt about the availability of Ryan Alebiasu. Aside that, we are going in perfectly. Let me quickly go through the list of players that might miss out against the Super Eagles for Algeria. Ismaili Benassa, he's a defensive midfielder. Samuel Chegi, he's a center back. And Mohamed Tugai, he's also a center back. As I stated for the Super Eagles, Ra'an Alibiasu might also miss out due to the doubts around his availability for the game with respect to the injury he picked up against Uganda. Now, let me talk about the things to expect from the Super Eagles team, or the things they have to work on going in the game against Algeria. First and foremost, it's about we being defensive compatible. We have to be very compact defensively against Algeria because they are very prolific up front, looking at the caliber of players they have in this AFCON tournament. Same as we have to defend set pieces. This is what I can say. When it comes to set pieces, we have to try as much as you can to defend it better this time around. We saw what's happened against Tunisia, and coming in against another North African giant. In the name of Algeria, we have to know how to defend set pieces in a better way. And the next points I'll go in for is we have to try as much as we can to avoid any unnecessary booking. Because in our previous game, talking of the round of 16 game against even Mozambique, we had 3 yellow cards, especially Calvin Bassey. We need you in our subsequent matches. If you're able to trample over Algeria this evening, we will need you. So please try as much as you can to avoid unnecessary booking. This is it from the camp of the Super Eagles. In as much as we are being defensively compatible, we also have to try to make every chance count. We shouldn't miss our chances. When you get it, we have to put it in their back nets. And that is going to be very interesting for the Super Eagles. Let me end everything quickly on our plausible 11. To me, my prediction, are these players going to start the game this evening against Algeria? I will start with Stanley Nwabali, and in the defensive line, starting from the left defensive line or left back, I will play Bruno Onyemaechi ahead of Zedu Sanusi. In the right back position, Bright Osai Samo will be fishing for the Super Eagles. And in the center back pair, Semi Ajayi and Calvin Bassey. In the midfield, I want to see Wilfred Ndidi, Alex Iwobi, and Frank Onyeka again. Same as in the attacking departments of the team, I want to see Ademola Lookman, Akko Adams, and Victor Osimhen. I want head coach Eric Sekuchel to repeat the lineup against Mozambique this time around with our game against Algeria. And this is it. Let me just reiterate the lineup to my preference. I want Stanley Nwabali to be in the post. From Stanley Nwabali, left back, Bruno Onyemaechi, right back, Bright Osai Samo, center back pair, I want to see Semi Ajayi and Calvin Bassey. In the midfield, I want to see Wilfred Ndidi, Alex Iwobi, the prophetic midfielder, and Frank Onyeka. In the attack, I want to see Ademola Lookman, Akko Adams, and the main man up front, Victor Osimhen. We have to go in with the kind of players and the better ones we have in camp, same as to show our exploits this evening against Algeria. On that note, I will predict Nigeria 2, Algeria 1. This is my prediction. Just leave yours decently in the comment box. I was being supported by my hardworking chief editor, Emmanuel Kwame Asiedu, and my amazing graphic designer, Dominic. Let's meet in the subsequent ones for your special shoutouts. Until you meet again, it's still go Super Eagles, go Nigeria. Nigeria, definitely. Algeria will fall under us, God willing, this evening. And it's bye-bye.